over here and join me.
I guess what we'll do is maybe count down like 10:40, somewhere along there.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
We can invite people. I forgot this work. Okay, I'm gonna share to the RayKakes group.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
All right. It'll be each individual one.
It'll be too many people. All right, what time is it?
It's 10:38.
We got 2 minutes.
Yep, 2 minutes.
Before we start. And I got this over here to make sure that we can see comments.
The comments are gonna show up on that side.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You wanna just go ahead?
Yeah. All right, y'all. So, welcome if you're on here. If you're watching the playback, welcome as well. We're going to basically be teaching you guys how. We're going to basically be teaching you guys how to measure yourselves. We know as fashion designers and business owners of a boutique that measuring yourselves is very important when it comes to ordering items off of our website. Each of our items has a measuring chart. And you look at that size chart, and that's how you pick the item that you're going to decide that the item you're going to be purchasing. And so we just wanted to make sure that we gave everybody the knowledge on how to properly measure themselves before they order anything from the website, so we won't have any problems. So,
exactly.
You want to?
Well, just like Raven said, we're going to show you how to measure your bust. Whether you're big chested or small chested or just regular chested, your waist and also your hip. The measurements, as far as if you are very tall, then of course at whatever given point of you making the order, you want to put in the suggestion section where your waist to ankle or your shoulder to wrist, so we'll be able to make sure that we're measuring the article of clothing that you're purchasing to fit your size. If you're above average or whenever you're ordering, or if you're petite, we want to know that factor as well. But that would just be something you would just DM us or special
email us.
Email or the special requested. But other than that, on a regular average measurement, we'll just need your bust, your waist, and your hip.
Pretty much. So, I guess I'm going to go ahead and
measure. No, you want to measure me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and measure her. So, when you're measuring, it is better, I guess you could say, or easier to have a partner measuring with you. And so you're able to, like, I'm able to measure you. But you can measure yourself. And if we get a chance, we can show you at the end of the video how to measure yourself.
How to measure yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, how you measure, you take a tape measure.
Make sure I'm in the
Come on in, take me out. We got to make sure that you are in the frame. But we'll make sure you have a tape measure. And I have this one right here. And
we measure in inches.
Inches, pretty much. So it just has inches. That's all it has. And you can either kind. It's all inches or an inch. So,
and for the sake of room, I'm just, instead of blocking the view, I'll just have my arm this way.
So what you do is you basically unravel this thing, measuring tape, and you go ahead and you get your one at the top. You go around one and you come. And what you do is to measure your bust, you want to make sure that you're coming right around that bra line. And when you do that, you want to come around and you want to wrap around, and you don't want to squeeze too tight, but you kind of want to get a grip on there so that you're able to get the correct measurement. And the measurement right here for you will be 41. Okay, so she's a 41, and I'm going towards her high breast.
No, this is not high.
Not high. What is it?
This is just regular.
No, the
fullness.
Yes, the fullness part. Thank you. The fullness part of her bust is where I'm going, and so she'll be a 41 around the fullest part. Now you want to go ahead and take on how you do it when you do the high bust.
Well, you just measure up, and you come across the top.
All right. So if you're big chested anywhere over, I would probably say 40. Then you want to go ahead and measure your high bust, and basically you do that same bra line in the back, but you come up. And once you come up, you wrap around, and you still want to have that same grip, and she is 40 right there. And so what she would do is, if she was ordering from RayKakes, or like she does when we make our own clothes, she does it at a 40.
Right.
Correct? All right. The next thing you want to do is measure your waist. So your waist is measured by that dip. It's like a dip in the side. Everybody has a little dip on the side of them. Basically, and you go in between the sides and there, and you come around, and that's how you measure your waist. Like I said before, you don't want to be too tight, but you definitely don't want to be loose and have it hanging. You want to get that measurement accurate, and this is a 36.
Okay.
All right.
And when you're measuring your hip, make sure your legs are put together.
Yeah. And then to measure the hip, you want to get the widest part of the butt. And so hers is about, let me see.
You're not going to be able to.
I can see right here.
Measure it. Yeah.
About right there. And then you come around, and you just want to come around straight around. And as you come straight around, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to measure it. And then like I mentioned, not too tight. And this is a 43 and a half.
Okay.
Okay. If you are a half size, so for her, she's a 43 and a half. What I would recommend is a 44.
Right.
Because you want to make sure you have that room in your hip area.
Right.
Yeah, have that ease in your hip area. Correct. No. Okay. All right, and then she's going to measure me. You can measure me with this one?
All right, I'll use mine.
All right. Like we said, it don't matter which one you pick.
All right, you have a measuring tape that has measurements in inches. And what you do, you have the person that you're measuring stand straight forward. You prefer the arms to be stretched out as far as forming a T in the body shape.
But should I go like this?
No. Oh. I'd rather you face me, so I'm actually able to. Yeah.
Let's switch.
Turn this way? All right.
Like how you wear, switch.
Okay. All right, come closer. I guess you can come a little bit closer. All right, so the object of the measurement is to make sure that you go across the band, the bra band line. You can have on a sports bra, but have something that's going to be somewhat supportive to where you're getting the correct measurement. And so once we measure here, and then once you get that measurement, make sure you have something to write it down so you won't forget.
Correct.
And then you measure the middle part of the waist. We call it the dip of the waist.
Yeah, that's what the dip, yeah.
Not the hip dip, but the dip.
Okay.
All right, and you put your hands down by your side. I forgot to let you do that at the bust. Typically, when you measure the bust, make sure that the hands are going to be by the side so you get the full effect, and there's no room that you're missing out on with the measurement. So once you measure the waist, you get that measurement and you jot it down. And then you get the fullness. Make sure your legs are together.
Close together.
Your feet together. Together. There you go. You got to tell them together. All right, and then we go down there and we measure the hip. Once you get that measurement, you jot it down. Now, as I mentioned before, if you are petite or if you are tall and you may need something that's really custom made, make sure you do your extremity measurements as far as your shoulder to your wrist. And I can just demonstrate here. Come a little bit above where the shoulder hits the arm. You come down, make sure the arms are flat by the side, and you go somewhat to the wrist bone. I typically add maybe an inch to that just because I want to make sure that when I do try it on, I do have it on, it's long enough. And then also from the waist where we measured before, the waist. And you come all the way down. You probably can't see me right now, but I come all the way down to the ankle, a little bit past the ankle, maybe a half inch to an inch below the ankle. And you get that measurement. And that's really typically only if you are petite or if you are tall.
Yeah. And then what would you probably put the petite range, the height being?
They know if they're petite.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because if you can't go in a regular department store and purchase something an average size, then you're typically either tall or petite.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, y'all. So that's pretty much what we wanted to get on here and show you guys how to measure yourself so that you're able to purchase the right size from RayKakes and or any other place you want to order something from. And I think that's about it.
That's
right?
about it.
All right. This video will be saved and will be kept on these Facebook pages, and it'll also be up on RayKakes' website where you can click the link and see just in case you need a refresher.
Right.
And yeah, y'all. That's it.
That's
so you
it.
guys enjoy the rest of your night and. Make sure you know how to measure yourselves. Oh yeah, do you want to teach me how to measure yourself?
Oh yeah,
I forgot about that.
Okay, so here we go. I'm not really a great, I guess, person to actually do this, but I will do my best.
You wrap around the back.
So you probably get in front of a mirror. I would suggest to make sure that
Yeah.
you're doing it correctly.
Like right now, I'm looking at the phone.
So if you're measuring yourself, do I need to measure myself?
You don't have to.
Okay.
All right. So what you do is you basically do the same thing you just did, like I did on her and she did on me. You wrap around and you come and you hold it, and then like that. There you go. You come around your bra part and you come to the height part of your bust, and this is how you measure yourself. And this is pretty much the same number that, same number that she measures for me. Same thing with the hip, with the waist. You're able to feel, like I said, you're able to feel that dip right there.
Right.
And you pretty much go ahead and you wrap yourself around. You come around and you do just like this. And like I said, not too tight, but definitely not too loose. And I'm just going to make sure it's the same number you gave me. All right, there you go. And that is your waist. Now, for your hip, you want to go ahead and do the same thing like this. I can kind of right now feel the highest part. Now, my hip is it's already out, so I'm able to feel it. If you're not, you want to definitely get a mirror, and you want to, it's a mirror right here. You want to definitely get a mirror and get that hind part of your hip, and you're going to wrap around, and you're going to go just like this. And it's the same number you gave me. All right, and that's pretty much how you do it. It's you get a little hot, but it's pretty much how you measure yourself. So yeah, y'all, like I said, that's how you measure yourselves. It is easier to do it with a partner, but it definitely can be done by yourself on your own. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to leave the questions down in this video, or you can go ahead and DM us if you want to. And like I said, this video will be posted on these Facebook pages, and it'll also be on the RayKakes website, just so you can have further information on how to measure yourself if you need it. All right, y'all, we will see you guys later. Good night.
Good night. Have a good night.